What do you do if in your intimate relationship you see a surge or a rise in fanatic beliefs around intimacy and around sexuality? This is the trend nowadays, so let's talk about it. Hi, this is Liana, Holistic Intimacy Coach. Welcome back to my channel. Here, I help you get your orgasmic intimacy. So, I'm gonna skip over what happened in our country, Romania, Southeastern Europe. You probably saw the news. It's insane. I'll just put it like that. It's insane, and the country is split in three, as a matter of fact. But I tried to do videos around that topic. However, here's my take around sexuality, because Romania, like every other country nowadays, is seeing a rise in extreme ideologies. And some of those ideologies are affecting how intimacy and sexuality looks like and how it is shaping in the future. So here are some of the beliefs that we're seeing more and more out there, put out by politicians, newly elected, far extreme politicians, basically far right. Number one, a woman's duty is to serve her husband sexually. Number two, birth control is not to be used. It's a sin. 3, same-sex couples are not allowed. We don't want them. We don't need this for our children. Quit the education around it. Those are just a few of the stuff that I've seen online recently, splitting people, even people already married or already in relationships, apart. So, for now, what we know is that this is not mandatory. These are just ideologies shared by on-the-rise politicians. However, these are not yet mandatory by law. These are brought up front in discussion for presidents or parliamentary people who are talking about ruling programs, plans for their candidacy, plans for their country, and so on. However, they are not yet imposed as mandatory. So it's still not illegal to choose what kind of an intimate life you want to have. This is very important. Right now, we are not at the point of no return. We are in the place where we can still choose. So without being here with any intention to tell somebody what to do in their life, I'm going to be the coach today, and I'm going to leave you with 3 important questions for you to answer for yourself. The first question: how do you see your intimate life in the long run? Your image, your expectations, how do you see it for yourself? And then obviously, how does your partner see it for himself or herself? Secondly, if you were to implement any of those extreme fanatic religious beliefs into your intimate life, how would your life feel like? Number 3, if you were to reject those, what do you think would happen with your relationship, marriage, or just intimate life in the long run? I'm going to stress this one again. I do not come here today to tell you what to do in your intimate life. And so far, nobody yet, we're not that far down the Handmaid's Tale scenario yet. So nobody yet is imposing these things on you. You can choose consciously for yourself. It's probably the best time right now to get a very clear picture about them, because it looks like everything that people have fought for in the past, especially women's rights, because this is something that affects women more than it does men. And secondly, this is something that affects people of different sexual orientation more than heterosexual people. So you can still choose for yourself today, and you can choose where you live, who you date, how you go about your life, even if you don't want to date anybody and remain solo. This is still up to you. I don't have an answer for you, and this is the kind of exercise that I'm doing with myself every single day. Now, let me tell you, these questions are not comfortable. When I think about it, I'm not even halfway through my life. When I think about the implications of these, some of them are pretty scary. Were those things that I said, those extreme fanatic beliefs, were they to be implemented, it would be horrible from where I stand. Because nobody owes anything, especially in intimacy. Nobody owes you anything at the expense of their body. Nobody. Nobody owes anybody anything. We are still living in a free world where this, we can say, a lot of people understand this. A lot of people are pissed off by it, but they can't do anything about it. So we still live in a society overall. This is still not imposed. But it is a very challenging exercise to think about. Am I having these discussions in sessions? No, not yet. Am I seeing the perspective of having these in sessions? Probably. If things become mandatory, yeah, people are going to start, especially women, or especially people of a different sexual orientation, so not heterosexual, people are going to bring these topics up in therapy sessions, counseling sessions, coaching sessions. They are. So we might want to start with these early on. Is it comfortable? No. Is the scenario of never ever dating again, for instance, if things get really bad, comfortable? No, it's not. Is it recommended? I don't know. Everybody here chooses for themselves because some people just can't live alone. This is true. Not everybody can live single. Alone, I meant without a life partner. Not everybody can do that. Okay? Men and women alike, not everybody can do that. Other people, although it's not comfortable, okay, it's never comfortable. To be in a place where you're not exactly getting most of the stuff that you need is not comfortable. So sometimes even being in a partnership can feel awful, oppressing. It can consume you from within. If the relationship is not favorable to you, yeah, it can do that to you. However, a lot of people are more afraid of being single than enduring difficult relationships. And that needs to be honored, okay? Being on your own, romantically speaking, or in terms of life partnership, is not easy. A lot of people are still afraid of it. There's still social stigma around it. There's still a big feeling of failure associated with it. Especially for women. Women are socially shamed, actually even guys, okay? They're belittled as incels, okay, involuntary celibates, and that's condescending to them. For women, especially those that are also successful and they are threatened with the future of dying alone with cats and all of that, the old stuff, it is also seen as a negative and is pushed down by men as negative. So people are just casting negative images, casting stones around it, metaphorically speaking, obviously. So they're stigmatizing it for both men and women. And that, I think, sucks. And whoever stigmatizes that is usually probably having a lot of skeletons in their closet, but they are too ashamed or afraid or incapable to deal with them, so they just project that shit onto others. That sucks. That really sucks. I think the whole planet these days should go to therapy, counseling, or coaching, honestly. If you want to know my opinion, I know this is drastic and radical, but I think every single person on this planet should go to at least one session of therapy or counseling or coaching where they can shed off some of those beliefs. Because, by the way, talk about fanatic beliefs. Belittling people for not being in relationships is also fanatic. That's a fanatic belief. Why the heck would you have a problem? Economy doesn't really mind. If you're working, contributing to society, what do we care? If you're taking care of your health, you're not burdening the healthcare system. So what the heck do we mind if you're single or not? If you're not doing anything immoral, illegal, if you're not breaking any human rights provisions, why do we care if you're single or not? We don't. Okay? We don't. You're eating, so you're paying food, you're paying for clothes, you're paying for rent, you're working to make a job, you're paying taxes. It's all good, honestly. If you're contributing to society, even better. If you're helping others, lifting up their spirits, even better. So that's another fanatic belief. Imposing on people that they be in a relationship. Otherwise, they've just as imposing on people to have children also. Two extreme beliefs that are also, they do have an effect on people's intimacy. And these are also some beliefs that you need to look at also. What do I feel about not ever having children or not ever being in a relationship? Some people do end up alone, quote unquote. It's not a tragedy for them. Like, we got to be honest. Although society makes it look as if that was tragic, for some people it's not. They're better off on their own. So I'm going to leave you with these thoughts. See you in the next video. And also check out my Patreon community. I look forward to seeing you there.